Can you hear me?
Yes.
ID.
KPC 897504C.
Now, what I like about this is it is its own little story. So did you write this as sort of a short?
Yeah, definitely. I wanted this to be a full story in itself, and the constraint I gave myself was really to go through different emotions in 5 minutes. And she started being just calm and just discovering where she is until she becomes very emotional when she's torn apart. And this is a part of the test that we wanted to see. How would this character react in different contexts, in different situations, and what would it mean in the matter of directing and technology and pipeline and art direction in general?
Now, let me ask you about performance capture. So you did, facial capture, body capture, voice capture. How is that different than what you did on Heavy Rain?
On Heavy Rain, we did what most games do these days. It's a split performance, which means that we shoot face and voice on one side, and then we shoot the body, playing the audio. So it's not one full consistent performance, it's usually two different performances that you put together again and try to get some consistency out of this. But on Heavy Rain, we really felt that we lost a lot of the emotional performance, and we really wanted to have one take and one shot, everything in one take.
Now, when you look at this piece, obviously, it looks beautiful. You said you have a new engine that you're working on for this piece, upgraded from Heavy Rain. How is it different technologically besides, obviously, using performance capture?
Oh, the new engine is really different. Actually, we developed some technologies for the future and just realized that they could be applied on a PlayStation 3. So that was something very interesting for us. And we thought we did a lot with the engine of Heavy Rain, but actually we didn't do really much compared to what the hardware can do. So even Kara this demo is a year old, which
right.
It was really the first version, the first iteration of the new engine, but it's not 50% of the new features we have in this engine right now.
So what kind of new features are we seeing in this footage right now?
We did a lot of work on lighting, on what we call complex shaders. It's the way materials react to the light depending on what they are. Plastic doesn't react the same way that metal or than different surfaces. We worked on virtual actors, skin shaders, lighting is something incredibly important, and special effects actually. And I think people will be really surprised to see what PlayStation 3 can do.
Yeah, no, it looks phenomenal that you have all that factored into it, and very emotional piece. So when you think about obviously this tech demo, it illustrates sort of the performance capture. But when you imagine this technology, how do you imagine sort of a game coming out of that? Or how do you? Because one of the challenges you always face, I think, as director, is that balance between a movie and a video game. So it's a beautiful piece, and people look at it and watch it. But when people see that, how would you? Did you ever think of how a game would relate to that, or because it was a tech demo, you just thought about let's create a cool interactive cinema sequence?
No, that was really not the goal with Kara. It was just about technology and visuals and art direction in general and performance capture, so we didn't think of an interface. But we had the same type of questions after the first casting. Yeah, it looks great, but what kind of game are you going to make with that? And actually we did Heavy Rain afterwards. So I think we showed that it's possible to create an interactive experience based on storytelling and actors and emotions.
Right. Well, and also, the fact that you can sort of, read their faces, and as you said, the range of emotions, I think, that can come out of that. After Heavy Rain, I think a lot of people really responded to that and the ideas of, so many different ways to play through it. Yet I haven't seen a lot of other games really sort of follow down that path. Is that something that you still sort of want to continue to push, obviously, is the idea of, emotion and acting in games?
Yeah, definitely. What we try to achieve is to create meaningful experiences for a more mature audience. There are so many games out there based on fun and adrenaline and shooting and driving. We try just to create experiences that are different, that are more based on emotional involvement and meaning in general. So Heavy Rain showed that there is an audience for that. And all these games are great when you shoot and jump, but I think there is a space for games trying things in a different way.
Seems like there's a lot of life left in PlayStation 3 with this new engine. Now, I know that the casting session, that character then ended up being in a game, but right now I guess you're not saying if this character would even, outside of the Kara world, that person was just sort of an isolated experience?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Well, we can't wait to see sort of what happens. And let me ask you about the theme of sort of, an android and things like that. What prompted you to sort of think about that? I mean, obviously Heavy Rain was, a darker story. You wanted to write something across all these range of emotions, but did you have other ideas for where you wanted to set this tech demo?
Yeah, it came very naturally. I was very impressed by a book I read, a book called Singularity is Near from Ray Kurzweil.
Yeah, Ray Kurzweil.
And talking about how artificial intelligence is going to become more intelligent than we are at some point in the near future.
30 years, the singularity is coming.
I don't know the date, but it's definitely going to be a Tuesday, I think.
Right.
But it's going to happen. No one can say exactly when, but this is something that's going to happen, and it's going to be very strange era for mankind, because it's a moment where another race will rise and become more intelligent than we are. And I just thought it would be interesting to imagine the moment where this first machine, being self-conscious, appears and is confronted with this idea that it's merchandise in a way, but at the same time it's something living and feeling emotions. So it's the birth of the first artificial human being in a way. And I love the idea of seeing it being born in front of you and about to die and being torn apart in front of you. So that was something that was really interesting to me.
Now, some people do tech demos which are, extremely primitive. You've made sort of your own epic little sort of, 8-minute movie. What is the point of doing that? Is it to pitch a publisher on a game or technology? Is it to inspire your team? Why do you do this?
Well, initially it was really to demonstrate that we could do it, that we wanted to use this new engine, we wanted to discover about performance capture, and it was also a way to thank our fans worldwide, and just to say, all of you guys
They
who
finally get the thank you now?
all of you guys who enjoyed Heavy Rain and have interest in what we are doing, this is for you, this is for free, we have nothing to sell, it's just a gift, and we hope you'll enjoy it.
What do you want people to sort of take away from this? What's your hope? They'll be excited about where Quantic is going, or the idea of emotion in games, to see that, you can do different things than Heavy Rain and still be powerful?
Well, I don't think there is a strong message attached to it. All we want is to thank our fans and to, just to say that this is something we want to continue building on. I mean, we discovered that on Heavy Rain, and we are going to continue to try to create this kind of emotional experiences.
Excellent. All right. Well, we can't wait to learn more about where Quantic is going. You guys are busy working on a game, although you're not talking about it, right? All right. Well, it's David Cage from Quantic, and if you guys want to hear more from my interview with David, check out the bonus round this Sunday on Game Trailers. Thanks, David.
Thanks.